Okay, so for the last portion on state symbols, this is when we learn how to quickly represent the physical state of a chemical by writing symbols like S for solid, L for liquid, G for gas, and AQ for aqueous. Okay, why is this important is because a chemical equation is supposed to represent the entire reaction, the reactants, the products, and it should also let us know whether the chemicals are existing in a particular state, physical state. So it is very cumbersome to write down the word solid, liquid, gas, aqueous, and so on. So using symbols like S, L, G, and AQ, it is able to help us to quickly identify them. I think for solid and gas, it is not so much of an issue. However, a lot of students will find it difficult to differentiate between liquid and differentiate between aqueous. So what's the difference between the two of them? For liquid, liquid is when a substance has undergone, when a substance is melted, for example. So if I have ice and it melted to form water, water we will know that it is in the liquid state, whereas ice is in the solid state. Okay, so that is for liquid, it is when it is melted. What is aqueous then? Aqueous is when it is if you look at the word aqueous, the root word of it is aqua, which means water. So what this means is that aqueous means dissolved in water. Another word that is commonly used to represent aqueous is actually the word solution. So we have heard of the phrase, okay, for example, sodium chloride solution. So if I were to write down the chemical formula and the state symbol for this, it will be NaClAQ. Okay, so please take note of the difference between liquid state is that it is melted, there is no water present, okay, and for aqueous state, it is when it is dissolved in water and it is existing in the form of a solution. Alright, so let us try to fill in the state symbol here. Okay, so over here there is a paragraph that that has given us some helping words. So let's take a look. Firstly, calcium carbonate powder. The word powder, what do you think it is? Right, our talcum powder, baking powder, and all that. This one should be solid. Okay, and it is allowed to react with dilute. Okay, dilute hydrochloric acid. The word diluted, what do you mean? If I have diluted Ribena, right, means that it was dissolved in water. So just now we mentioned that when it's dissolved in water, it is aqueous, right? So for HCl, it will be aqueous. Calcium chloride. Okay, let us continue reading. Effervescence was observed and a temperature change was recorded. The word effervescence. Effervescence, sometimes we see this word in our vitamin tablets, right? So the word effervescence actually is another word for bubbling or bubbles. So if I see bubbles in a solution, what it means that a gas is formed. So this would mean that I would have the state symbol G because it is gas. So where is this gas over here? If you look at the products CCl2, H2O, CO2, right? Quite immediately we should be able to tell that the gas should be carbon dioxide, CO2. It has a solution of, okay, let's go back to the text over here. A solution of calcium chloride was produced. So just now we said the word solution is actually also used in place of the word aqueous, right? So this is a solution of calcium chloride. So our state symbol for CaCl2 is aqueous. And lastly, for water, it is just liquid. Alright, so this is the state symbols for this equation. So there is a format to writing the state symbols. It must be written on the right hand side. Okay, state symbols must be written on the right hand side next to the chemical formula. You cannot write it below, right? So if you write it below as AQ below the chemical formula, if you write it below the chemical formula, it is wrong. Okay, so please do not write it below the chemical formula. It should be written on the right hand side of the chemical formula. Let's try the next one together. Okay, let's read. I have two aqueous solutions, right? So for solution, I know that it is aqueous, right? What are the solutions? The solutions are lead 2 nitrate and potassium sulfate. So these are my reactants over here, lead 2 nitrate, potassium sulfate. So these two brackets should be AQ. And then I have a white precipitate. What is a precipitate? A precipitate is actually a solid in a solution. Okay, so what is this then? We are looking at solid substances. So what is this solid substance? It is lead 2 sulfate. Okay, so our PbSO4, lead 2 sulfate should be solid. And then continue reading, and it causes the colorless solution to turn into a white suspension. The solution remaining is found to be potassium nitrate. So again, solution is the word AQ. Right, the solution is the word AQ, and that will be over here. Okay, so this is how you fill up the brackets for this portion, and this is how you come up with the state symbol for a chemical equation. So please fill up this page as well and take a photo and submit it on your Google Classroom.